Good day everyone, Dokutah Blob here. First of all, I would like to apologize because I just realized I set the wrong date. This was planned for the 21st, but due to personal reasons and some overexcitement regarding the Valentine's videos, I completely forgot about it. Sorry. Nevertheless, this is still a milestone worthy to celebrate. Thus, we will be hosting this little thing. Though honestly, this was not exactly my idea. This was suggested by the awesome people at my Discord. So if you want to meet more awesome blobs, be sure to sign in. Also, this one's gonna be a bit low-key. Mostly because, well, right now I don't have internet, because Telmex. So while I can get some images and even some audio tracks, downloading videos and whole songs is completely out of the equation. So this is gonna be more on the serious side. Not so much because I want to, but circumstances. Nevertheless, I'm gonna make do with what I have. With that out of the way, let's get started. These are Dokutah Blob's first anniversary Q&A session. Starting with Melvin Chen, who asks, Abyssal Hunter event, Casimiel event, Summer event, pick 2 to remove from universe. While I understand why some of these events are not exactly liked by everyone, mostly due to how slow they move or how they take away from the main story, I wouldn't call them useless. Because as slow as they are, they still start to set up new events and storylines for the game to follow. Just as we saw how the Casimir's event set up things to happen in the Victoria storyline. So, while not obvious at first, they are far from pointless. Now, having said that, if I had to choose one between these 3 events, I will say that Casimir's is by far my favorite. Not only because it's the longest running one, but also because it's the one which at least moves the story forward in some sense. Not only in the events of the event, redundancy, but also because we know what's happening. We know who are the parties involved, and we know how each event happening there reflects in the rest of the world. So while I wouldn't remove any of those from the universe, I will call Casimir's my favorite event out of these 3. Next one, Andrew Leknovsky, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, asks, how did you come with the blob name for the channel? I feel that there are more reasons to it apart from the obvious ones. Or is it just that Rimuru is trying to escape? Yeah, the comparison is inevitable. After all, that regular shape is very prominent nowadays. But, if we get technical, both of us are copying Dragon Quest, in all seriousness. Originally, I wanted to use the name Dr. Slime, because I was going for something simple, easy to pronounce and as well easy to remember. But that name is already in use. An ASMR channel, by the way. So I had to get creative. And being honest, I don't remember how I came with the word blob. I just thought it was the best next thing and go with it. Honestly, I like how it sounds. It does the job and it covers the points I mentioned earlier. Easy to pronounce and easy to remember. So, yeah, that's what I went with blob. Regarding my avatar, again, I just wanted something simple. And while I tried to make it different from that one anime, I still see people making the comparison. I guess in that regard, I didn't succeed. But, hey, it's still eye-catching, so I guess that's a success. Next one. Ralph asks, do you think a gorilla operator will be cool to see? Or like just having more variety in animal races? Normally I will just choose one of these 2 questions, but I will let it slide since both are related. Regarding the gorilla operator, I see that a bit hard. Mostly because Hypec Reef has made an attempt to avoid any ape or monkey to show in the races. Mostly to separate humans from the actual races in Terra. So, not to mention that making a gorilla operator will be a bit challenging without making it racist in the eyes of some. I don't mean it that it would be racist, but some could see it as such. So yeah, I don't think Hypergriff will want to get in that mess. Regarding the variety, yes, I would love to see more variety in these races. And I don't mean that they have to make new races for us to enjoy, though it would be welcome, but there are more animals than just the ones we have so far. For example, what race a red panda operator will be? An ursine or an anati? These are the kind of questions that keep me sleepless at night. Okay, the next two, I placed them together because they are asking pretty much the same thing. Aries Stellar asks, who is your favorite operator? While Roger that asks, favorite operator you like using? While I like to use a lot of operators, mostly of the 6-star variety, sorry I'm a basic bitch, there is one operator who has carried my sorry arse from the beginning of the game. And that one is without a doubt, Zarya. Well, you know what they say, the best offense is a great defense. Extra points for also beating you senseless while at it. Next. Gacha, more like illegal gambling, asks, do you think we will be able to see the full history of Terra from the beginning of the time to today? Honestly, I really want this to happen. As some of you might know, we don't even have a current timeline, so getting the whole story of this planet will be a dream come true. Not only to organize all the events in a proper manner, but also to take some things into perspective. While organizing events is fun in its own right, sometimes we need some help from the developers. Just look at the whole mess that was Hyrule before Nintendo decided to intervene. So answering your question, yes, I really hope we get to see the full story of Terra. However, I don't think we will see it until quite some time. Next, 80 Channel asks, favorite Yuri chip from Arknights? Love your content, voice and accent. Honestly, I'm surprised someone actually likes my voice. Especially my accent because, well, I'm trying really hard to improve. I don't know if I'm succeeding, but at least I'm making the attempt. Back to your question. While there are a lot of ships, either Yuri, Yaoi or Straight, if there is one I am the most interested in, would be between Provence and Scavenger. Not only because they look cute together, but also because of the potential development of their story. We know Scavenger is the only acknowledged homosexual in the whole game, not to mention the whole mess that is her past, full of resentments, regrets, and a healthy amount of self-hatred. So seeing her coming out of her shell thanks to the help of someone so easy to approach as Provence would be interesting on itself. Regardless if they actually get into a relationship or not, I really want to see them develop a proper story. Fingers crossed on the possibility of these two actually getting an event. Again, regardless of shipping. Next we have Krona, who asks, who is or are the most complex and interesting operators in your opinion? You see, Krona, everyone is interesting in this game. I know the regular answer will be any of the main characters or the 6 stars, since they also have their own big stories. But if you look at every single character, everyone has something that makes them special. Everyone has something to show, something to give to the whole plot. The easiest example I can give is all of A1. Along with the other low stars all-stars, we take it for granted that they were meant to be just cannon fodder, characters meant to bloaten the roster in order to make it look fuller. But that's not the case. Everyone has a story to tell. We now have the mystery regarding one of them possibly dying. We don't know if she actually will die, we don't know what will happen, we don't even know what happened beforehand. And it's keeping all of us interested in them, the low rarity operators. I'm pretty sure that once this story is either properly developed, we will then move to the next low rarity team, where a new story will develop. In fact, if you read some of the operator records from the other teams, you will see that some inklings of a story are already being set up into motion. On another example, we have the robots. the most basic units in the game, yet they also have something to say. Castle 3 has a story regarding the operators he has fought with in the past. Justice Knight is trying to become more useful due to the, well, I can only call it trauma, of being abandoned once. We have the possibility of a real intelligence being developed inside Best Boy. And of course there's the whole deal between Lancet 2 and her little sister. Even the Ark, the vehicle we are traveling with, has its own story. Which makes me think that, no, there is not one character I consider it to be the most interesting. Because everyone has a story to tell. Next we have Nightmare. Most interesting race in your opinion. While I don't have a single character to call the most interesting, this time around I do have one race which I consider to be the most annoying to analyze. And that is, without a doubt, the Sancta. In one way or another, we know what's the role of most of the species in Terra, based on its relationship with its counterpart with their nations, and the personality traits that each race also carries from their animal counterpart. However, this doesn't apply to the Sancta. They are a huge question mark, followed by a huge lot of nothing. We know they are secluded and somehow mechanical in nature. I won't call them robots, but clearly they have some kind of link, and magical link, psychic link, a mechanical link, I don't know. And then there is the whole mess that is the relationship with the Sarkas, which gives them an even bigger amount of what the fudge. So yeah, the race that without a doubt gives me the more headaches are our beloved desert enthusiasts. Next we have Wooly Bram. When did Arknight's story hook you in? I have mentioned it before, but I don't mind saying it again. This guy. The moment I saw him I thought, this is gonna be so heavy-handed, like, he looks like a demon, big horns, the red eyes, the skull imagery, and his name is Patriot. I was expecting to get something over the top. Yet what we got was what I still consider to be the best written antagonist in the whole game, by a milestone. That was the moment when I knew these writers knew what they were doing. Being able to use such a character and portray him in such an interesting and somewhat realistic light made me saw the whole world of Terra in a new light. As I mentioned it before, everyone has a story. And it was when I knew Patriots that I got hooked into Arknights. Rest in peace, General. Ryoit asks, do you watch Donny Gunawan? Honestly, I didn't even know who he was. Apologies. I did give him a try, but I'm afraid the language barrier is a bit too much for me to enjoy it. Again, apologize. Having said that, for what I did understand, he's very passionate about Arknights, and can't stop but wish him the best of luck in his endeavors. As a fellow YouTuber, I hope him the best. So if you happen to understand Indonesian, you should definitely go and give him a watch. Okay, next one I'm gonna have to translate it for everyone. David Gutierrez asks, which operator do you think has the bigger chance of entering a romantic relationship with Dokutah? Well, shipping aside and focusing only on the information we have been given, I don't think the Doctor is interested. The biggest evidence of this was on the third Casimir's event, where the Doctor constantly avoids Gravel's advances. So while at first I thought they were dense, now we know that they acknowledge the feelings of others. They are not blind. However, they don't try to start a relationship. They think it's civil and in good camaraderie. So as much as I would like the Doctor to have a relationship with someone, Jared Ricard, I don't think that will be a possibility in a while. I am not fully discarding it because maybe one day we just get the possibility of actually entabling a romantic relationship with someone. It's up to Hypergriff to decide. Next one. The real Shims ask, psychological analysis until lapse is when? once we get enough information about her. It is sad because, despite how popular she is, we have got very little information regarding her. Having said that, I have noticed some similarities between her condition and people within the spectrum. So while there is still some information needed to do a proper analysis, at least I have an idea on how to focus it. But first we will need to get some information on Auntie the Applesauce. Kijiri Woodtube asks, who's best girl? You are best girl. sorry. I wanted to say that. Again, I don't think there's someone who is better than other regarding personality-wise. Everyone has their own charms, quirks, and perks, and this goes for the guys as well. But if I had to say someone who is the most interesting one, I will go with Amia. She is the main character after all. And I won't deny that I am really interested to see the future of our beloved daughter. Next one. Tadikai asks, do you want Arknights to be more loot or just stay the same? Honestly, this is something very worth pointing out. This game has managed to keep themselves realistic without avoiding fan service, managing to make it in very good taste. And even when they go with exaggerated body proportions, biggest example being Utage, I think they do a very good job at keeping it in very good taste. So while I don't mind some experimentation from time to time, I would prefer them to keep it, again, realistic and in good taste. We have enough Azure Lane wannabes out there, so please let our characters keep their tactical gear. Next one. Finite asks, who is your highest level Arknights operator? Currently, I have 4 operators at level 19. But among those 4, there's only one who has an even higher level of specialization. And that one is that. There is a reason she is the only M9 operator in my whole roster. And with that, those are all the questions being answered. Honestly, I didn't expect it to get this many questions. So once again I prove how interesting my channel is for you all. What I meant to say is, thank you for sticking around with these ramblings of mine. I might not be the most famous content creator out there, but so long you all want to watch my content, I will be sure to keep creating it. So cheers for 1 year on this channel, and the best of lucks for the next one to come. Once more, I thank you for your time, and humbly ask for a like, share and subscribe, because the next milestone is getting in sight, and your help is indispensable to get there. For now, this has been Dokutah Blob, wishing you all the greatest of days, and as always, stay healthy everyone. Happy first year.